Welcome to Inside Fall River. Inside Fall River is produced by Fall River Community Television, and it intends to provide television programming for, of, and by individuals and groups to celebrate the resources, the diverse people, the varied concerns, the abundant successes, and the shared potential and responsibility of the Fall River community. I am Stephen Camara, and my co-host is Wendy Goff-Lipp. Together, we will bring you interviews with interesting people about interesting places and activities that are happening inside Fall River. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on Inside Fall River, or if you have a group or topic that you would like to have discussed on Inside Fall River, contact me at Bristol Community College. Also, you may access Fall River Community Television on our website, on Facebook, or on Twitter. Enjoy Inside Fall River, and remember, your feedback to this program is welcomed and encouraged. Fall River Community Television is your community access television station, and it is committed to building community through communication. Thank you for supporting Fall River Community Television. And welcome back to this edition of Inside Fall River. I'm pleased to welcome as my guest today a well-known person here in our community, Marianne Wardell. Marianne Wardell is president of the Fall River Street Tree Planting Program, which has been in existence now about 15 to 16 years. Is that about right, Marianne?
It certainly is. 16 years.
16 wonderful years of caring for and loving our trees and getting people to understand the value of trees. And why don't we begin with just some basic information. What is the value of a tree, and what is particularly a value of an urban tree?
Well, most people associate trees with providing shade and beauty, but the environmental benefits of trees are enormous, from purifying the air to helping prevent water runoff, to preventing the heat island and treating the heat island effect of concrete and cement, which really increases the heat, to also decreasing the cost of energy. Trees help provide wind breaks. In the winter, they can decrease the amount of expenditure for heating your home, and in summer, they cool, thereby decreasing the use of air conditioning. So those are some of the main benefits of trees.
And if anyone travels over the bridge, the Braga Bridge, or now even the new Veterans Memorial Bridge, it seems that Fall River is a city that's rich in having a treescape, many trees in the community. Is that true?
That is not true. We have actually a tree deficit in Fall River. In 1989 and 1990, there was a tree survey that was done, and they were all volunteers that were taught by foresters from the state, and they came down and did an intensive program. And we had multiple volunteers who went out and counted the trees. And it showed that we have very few trees in Fall River. And if you go like to the south end of Fall River and look down towards the river, you can see multiple streets with no trees whatsoever. Slade Street is one of those. We also found that we had a concentration of Norway maple, linden, and cherry trees, and those amounted to just like monocultures. So we learned a lot from that survey. You certainly don't want to have monocultures. So based on that, what the Fall River Street Tree Planting Program did was diversify the type of plantings that we did along city streets and in parks.
Now, you said that these volunteers were counting trees. Now, is there an ongoing inventory of our city's trees?
There is not an ongoing inventory. The one we did was 10 or 11 years ago, but an inventory should be done probably every 10 years. So the city made a contact with the Urban Ecology Institute out of Boston, and they have come down, and in the fall they started another inventory, which is a more in-depth inventory, which will encompass all of the city street trees. And this is going to be continued this spring, and it's all volunteer driven.
So tell us what will be the value then of having this street tree inventory?
Well, there'll be quite a few values. The main one that comes to mind is that it will provide a database for city management to identify what trees will need care, such as pruning, which ones will have to be removed that will be potential hazard trees, and that's extremely important. And it will also provide the sites where trees can be planted. In addition to that, the condition of trees, such as are they being impacted by disease and insects, and that will provide a great amount of information for the city to proactively manage the urban forest.
Now, are many of our trees infected with these kinds of problems with pesticides or disease?
Thank God there is not, but we're constantly on the alert for it. And I'm sure you're aware of what happened in the city of Worcester. And when they had 2 to 3 years ago, I think it'll be 3 years on August 1st, that they found that the Asian longhorn beetle had invaded their city trees, and thousands of trees have been totally removed from the city of Worcester. Not only the trees were removed, but if you can only imagine the cost that was involved by the city. So it's something you have to be alert for. And it is something that we do in Fall River. I have been trained. I've gone to a train the trainer session, and I've had multiple educational sessions for the tree stewards, and we go out and we have assessed city parks and city trees, and thank God we have not found any Asian longhorn beetles.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, that's good news.
That is very good news.
Now, I know that you're not the only steward in Fall River.
No.
There's some others that you've trained to assist you?
We have about 25 trained tree stewards, and with this last grant that we obtained, and when I say we, I mean the city, attained a challenge grant for the state. Incorporated into the scope of activities was a tree steward training course, and we had 2 licensed arborists come down here to BCC, and we had 24 hours of classroom instruction for 18 or 19 tree stewards, and they have 12 hours of outdoor work that included tree identification, tree planting, and tree pruning.
Excellent. That sounds very good. Now, Fall River, I understand, has been designated a Tree City, USA.
We have. That was one of the accomplishments that the Fall River Street Tree Planting Program and the city accomplished 5 or 6 years ago. And this year we applied for a growth award, and we haven't been notified yet, but I think our chances of getting it, of receiving it, are very good.
And that growth award represents what?
Well, we had an urban forestry seminar that you came to. We had an arborist. We taught the tree steward training course. We planted trees. We got the tree ordinance passed. So that constitutes growth for Fall River.
Now, at the end of May, at the end of this month, we will be focusing on a memorial program, I understand. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in May 28th, the Fall River Street Tree Planting Program, with the help of the city, will be donating and dedicating a memorial grove to the young men who died in the war against terrorism. In 1 year, Fall River had 5 or 6 young men that died in Iraq and Afghanistan. And we will be planting a grove of trees at North Park, right as you go down Snake Hill. So we will be putting in the trees, we will have benches and a memorial plaque.
That sounds like a great tribute and a living memorial, which is none finer than to have that type of memorial that actually gives back life to our community. So people, no doubt, will want to become more involved. Everyone loves a tree. And what can people do to become more involved in your effort?
Well, even planting trees in their own yards, I think, is wonderful. And if one person is interested in planting a tree, they can contact the Fall River Street Tree Planting Program. And if they donate $100 for a tree, we will match it. And they can have it put in the sidewalk in front of their home. So they get a $200 tree. In addition, we really do promote a neighborhood tree planting. If someone wants to get a group of neighbors in 1 or 2 city blocks, they donate $50 per tree. We will pay $150 for up to 10 trees along 1 or 2 city blocks. And that way we get a substantial number rather than just one. So.
And what's the value of getting folks involved as volunteers in this program?
Well, the more people that become aware of the great benefits that trees provide, hopefully it will impact on getting a budget and the city to have a well-managed urban forest.
So give us the contact information for people that do want to get in touch with you, and we will also post it, but just please give us that verbally, the contact information.
Well, for the inventory, that is on our website. The contact person is Virginia Wolf, virginia.wolf, WOLFF, @gmail.com. And that is specifically to get in touch with her regarding the inventory. But anything else to do with the Fall River Street Tree Planting Program, obtaining a tree for the sidewalk in front of your home, www.fallrivertrees.org. And we also have applications at New Boston Bakery, at Oak Grove Cemetery office, and at the library.
Excellent. So the library, New Boston Bakery, and right at the Oak Grove Cemetery office, which is right off Prospect Street,
Right.
are places where people can go to make contact.
And they can download it from our website.
Excellent. And we'll show that website on the screen so that people can see that. Well, Marianne, this has been a very valuable opportunity for the community to hear more about our street tree planting efforts. We're a city, when I think of our city, I think of it as being rich with trees. Certainly we have a bioreserve, which is not something that's very common in many communities. So combined with what we do in our urban tree system, I think that we've got a great opportunity to appreciate the value of trees here in Fall River. So I'm pleased to have been able to host this edition of Inside Fall River. My name's Stephen Camara, and if you'd like more information, you can certainly contact us through the frctv.org website. We'd like to hear from you, and if there are particular guests you'd like to hear from, let us know.
Hi, my name is Wendy Garflip. Welcome to Inside Fall River. My guests today are Callie Tessier and Mario Dorigo. Callie and Mario are both part of the BOLD Coalition, Building Our Lives Drug-Free, and they're part of a youth program called TDA. Callie, Mario, can you tell me about TDA? What does it stand for and what do you do?
Well, TDA stands for Teens Against Drug Abuse, and we are part of the BOLD Coalition, which is based at STAR.
And our main focus is to, one, combat the use of substance abuse among the youth, and specifically target tobacco prevention and alcohol abuse.
So can you give me some examples of some of the things that you've done as part of members of TDA?
Well, we worked on a mural, which is now at Durfee, and it has the words tolerance down the middle, and we presented it to the GSA last week. We've also done a public service announcement, which BCC filmed at Durfee. We've written articles for the Herald News, which have been published, and we're working on a youth event, which is called Together for Tolerance, and it's June 16th at CD Rec on Bank Street.
Great, we're going to get to that in a minute. I want to take a step back. You mentioned the GSA. Can you explain what a GSA is?
Sure, it's the Gay Straight Alliance.
So what does that mean, the Gay Straight Alliance?
Well, really what it means is the gay people from Durfee and the straight people from Durfee, obviously, get together and, not work on conflicts, but get together and see, what the other side feels against,
Is Durfee the only school that has a GSA?
No, Diamond has one too. It's called the Diamond Diversity Club.
And what about, do you think there's also other groups of GSA students in other places, maybe at colleges and things like that?
Worldwide.
So how long has the GSA been around in Fall River?
It's been around for a couple of years already. Miss Chase and Mr. Levy took lead on it, and it's held every Thursday at Durfee, 2:40 to around 4 o'clock.
And what are some of the things you talk about?
Well, I go to meetings every Thursday and Tuesday to plan them out. But we kind of sit down and we talk how our week went and how they can express their feelings. Also, they kind of make it a really fun event, so they get to talk to each other and sing. Sometimes they sing songs, which is really kind of cool actually. And then they sit down and they discuss. And they also they participate in other events around the community to get their name out there and to get others involved in their program.
So anybody from Durfee can come on Thursday afternoon?
Correct, anybody from Durfee.
And when does the GSA meet in Diamond?
Wednesday mornings.
On Wednesday mornings. And is it similar to what Mario was talking about, the kind of things that you do?
Yes.
So you talk about tolerance a lot and
Yes.
understanding each other. That's terrific. So tell me about why do you think that we need a gay-straight alliance? Why do you think these kids might be considered at risk?
Well, GLBTQ youth.
Okay, you want to define that,
Yes,
GLBTQ?
GLBTQ stands for gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and questioning. And the whole point of it is, actually, can you repeat that question, please?
Sure. Can you explain why GLBTQ youth and straight youth need to get together and why we might consider them at risk?
Well, the reason why they're at risk, let me get to that part first, is because GLBTQ youth are really high risk at doing substance abuse and all that, topic. And the reason why is because they're being bullied at school, which shouldn't happen at all, but it does happen, which is very, unacceptable. But it does happen, and that's why they need to get together and, to understand the differences.
Anything you'd like to add to that, Callie?
I think he covered it.
Okay. I know that we've encountered a couple of cases of tremendously terrible bullying right here in Massachusetts. We had the Phoebe King case, and just recently we had the incident in New Bedford where a 12-year-old kid was bullied to the point where he took his own life. So do you think that the GSA is a place where kids could go to feel more confident and more powerful? Do you think that that's one of the outcomes that we get from that?
Absolutely. It's a safe zone. So no matter what happened that week, they can go there, express their feelings, and not, be judged, on what they believe in and what happened to them.
Do you think your schools do a good job in providing opportunities for you guys to learn about bullying and prevent bullying?
I absolutely think my school does, and I know Callaway School does.
Yes.
The GSA is not only just on Thursdays, like I said, they do a lot of community events. So they're always, helping out with the community and getting their name out so that, like I said, others can get involved with it.
Terrific. So anybody can join.
Yes.
So let's go over when it is. If you're a Durfee student, you come on Thursday.
Thursdays, 2:40 to 3:30, 4 o'clock.
And where does that meet?
That's going to be in Miss Chase's room or Mr. Levy's room. Every week it's kind of a different because some teachers have different meetings some days.
Okay, and Callie at Diamond?
It's Wednesday mornings in Mr. Graff's office.
In Mr. Graff's office. Excellent. Okay, I want to go back to something else you said. You talked about Together for Tolerance Day. What's that?
It's a community event where we're getting together with different youth organizations in the community, and it's June 16th at CD Rec on Bank Street, and there'll be like games and karaoke and dance contests, food, temporary tattoos, and different organizations that have their resources. They're going to come, and there'll be food. And
And do you know what time it starts and what time it's done?
12 to 4.
12 to 4. And anybody in the community can come?
Anybody can go.
Or is it just for high school youth? Or-
For middle school, high school, and college.
And do you have to be accompanied by a parent, or you can come on your own?
Nope, you can come by yourself.
Okay, so CD Rec is at 72 Bank Street, and the date is June 16th from
12 to 4.
12 to 4. Do you have to sign up in advance, or you can just show up?
We will have tickets for people to participate in. It'll be free tickets, obviously. However, if you don't have a ticket, you're still invited in.
Okay, so if they want to get tickets, should they contact the Bold office?
They would contact the youth programs office at STAR.
At STAR. Okay, Bold is a division of STAR, which is Stanley Street Treatment and Resources, 400 Stanley Street. So you can connect with them, and you could find the Bold Coalition or TDA through the STAR offices. Great. I want to shift a little bit of what we've been talking about. When I was preparing for this, I read about the amazing things that your organization has been doing around tobacco prevention. I know that you, the youth, were instrumental in getting the bill passed that removed tobacco products from pharmacies in Fall River. So what else are you doing around tobacco prevention, and why did you get involved in this? Why are you
Well,
so interested in it?
Currently, we're doing tobacco presentations to adults, so local neighborhood associations. And basically, we're just explaining how big tobacco, when I say big tobacco, I mean all the big tobacco companies in the world, and how they target the youth using one method and one method only, ACE. Attractive, cheap, and easy to get.
Let's say that again, ACE. Attractive, cheap, and easy to get. That's a great way to remember it. Go ahead.
And so we're doing those four. We're going to do 4 of them. We already completed 3, so now we're going to do the next one, which is going to be the Niagara Falls Neighborhood Association.
The Niagara Neighborhood Association.
And that's going to be April 30th.
So if you're a member of Niagara, you'll get a chance. And are youth presenting, or do your advisors
Nope.
present?
The youth will actually be presenting.
So what do you talk about when you present?
Well, we talk about many different topics. One topic would be how they attract it, make it really attractive for us. We compare the tobacco products to everyday household items, magazines to, cigarillos, et cetera, et cetera. We also, we discuss many topics.
And are you getting a good response from the neighborhood association?
Absolutely. Every neighborhood association we go to, we get a resolution signed by the president or the chairman of the.
And what does the resolution say?
Just that they support us in our efforts to combat tobacco use.
I was so impressed when the bill was passed to remove tobacco from pharmacies. So why did you think that was something that you wanted to work on? What was the issue of big pharmacies selling tobacco products?
Well, let me put it this way, and I'm going to fire a question back at you. Would you like to go to a tobacco pharmacy? A tobacco pharmacy? Come on, it's a simple question, a simple answer.
So you feel because a pharmacy deals with products that promote good health, that having a product that doesn't promote good health is not really a good idea.
Exactly.
Was there any pushback from any of the pharmacies about it? Or was there any pushback from the city council?
There wasn't actually any pushbacks, except for the fact that the Chamber of Commerce didn't think it'd be economically correct. But there's no changing in the economics. They're still going to get the cigarettes. But
Right.
at least
So
we got
this
out of
isn't
it.
that Fall River doesn't sell cigarettes.
No,
you can
Fall
still
River- yes.
purchase cigarettes in Fall River at many different places. You just can't purchase them
At a pharmacy.
At a pharmacy.
Correct.
And is this just the big chain pharmacies? What about the small pharmacies, the privately owned?
All pharmacies.
All pharmacies. That's amazing that you were able to bring that about. So here you are. One of you're a senior, right?
Yes.
You're a junior in high school. Most kids aren't involved in this stuff. Why are you involved in this? It's amazing.
Well, in 6th grade, I actually met my supervisor, Mike Aguiar, who runs the whole Bold Coalition, the youth programs part of it. And I met him through the SAD program, and that is Students Against Drinking and Driving or Destructive Decisions. Either or works. And I met him through that, and then I continued with 7th grade with Project Alert, and I met him again last year, and I'm working with him again.
And what about you, Callie? Why are you interested in working against tobacco and working for the GSA? And
Well, I feel that teens who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, or questioning shouldn't be bullied or treated any differently than any other student.
how did you get involved with Tada and Bold? How old were you when you first started to get
Actually, this is
involved?
my first year.
This is your first year?
Yes.
And if other youth in the community wanted to get involved in Tada or be part of Bold, how do they go about doing that?
Well, they could either contact one of us, if they saw us in the halls, and we would talk to Mike. And he's really good with a lot of kids, so if they were really, in trouble and needed help them out.
So you can come if you have issues that you want to talk about, or if you can come if you want to work on the prevention work that's going on in the community.
Correct.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So tell me this, how do your friends feel about your involvement in Tada?
Well, a lot of my friends, when I was with them when I was younger, they changed, and it's sad to say, but once I got involved, I helped change them, which is a good thing, and now they actually support my work.
And Callie, what about you?
My friends support my work too.
And are any
They
of
know
it-
what it means to me,
Yeah, so what does it mean to you? Can you sum it up in a sentence?
Well, because I'm completely against bullying. I don't think bullying should be part of life. It is, but I don't think it should be. So they understand, that not to bully around me, because I'm very sensitive about that.
And what happens? What do you do if you see bullying happening? Say you're standing by your locker and the kid next to you is bullied by someone. Do you let it go by? Do you say something? What advice can you give to people if they are seeing bullying, what they should be doing?
If you don't feel comfortable saying something to that person, maybe go to a teacher's room and be, hey, I saw this person bullying that person. Or if you feel brave enough, you can take it into your own, say something to that person.
I read a great piece about bullying just today, and they talked about people need to stop being bystanders, but they need to be upstanders. They
Yes.
need to stand up. And you two are amazing examples of youth in our community that are standing up to bring about systemic change, not only in the way kids treat each other in school, but what's allowed to happen in school, and certainly all the work that you're doing on tobacco awareness and tobacco prevention. I imagine that your group of friends does not smoke. Are there a lot of kids in your school that still smoke?
Correct.
Yes.
So I guess you really still have a lot of work to do. I'm delighted to be able to have you today. I just want to end up by mentioning again the Together for Tolerance Day. You want to say when it is, what time it is, and where people are going?
It's June 16th at CD Rec on Bank Street, and it's from 12 to 4,
And middle school and high school kids are all invited to be part of it.
and college.
And college.
And college kids as well. Great. Well, I will be there, and I look forward to seeing both of you there. So this has been a wonderful opportunity to speak with you guys. I think you're doing terrific work. I think Tada is doing terrific work, and I'd love to hear more about it as time goes on. So thank you so much for coming today, and thank you for watching. This is Wendy Garflip on Inside Fall River. We appreciate you watching.